Welcome back. On our chapter 3 of core math for SHS students, we are treating algebraic expressions, and at the moment we are looking at how to remove brackets, removing and expanding a bracket in order to solve or simplify whatever expression that we have been given. So here we are going to read something briefly, and then we will start looking at some calculations. So here we can see that brackets are used to group terms together. An expression with brackets in it can be replaced by an equivalent one without brackets. So this is called removing the brackets or expanding the expression. To remove the brackets, we use the distributive law in what we have treated so far in sets, and then in this particular one. So this is how we do it. We multiply the term outside the bracket by each of the terms inside the bracket. So for example, we have 4a into bracket 2a plus 3, which will give us 8a squared plus 12a. So it means that the item outside the 4a multiply those inside the brackets. That is what we did. So now take care with the signs when removing brackets. Note that a letter or a number without a sign is plus. We saw that in a recent video. Now, so for example, 2a means plus 2a, right? So hold on. Yes, so this is how we do it. We look at this and then blah blah blah. So when there is a negative sign, what do we do in front of the brackets? The signs inside the brackets change when the brackets are removed. So let's typically look at the demonstration here. Now we have negative 2a, right? Negative 2a outside the whole bracket. Now we have into the bracket, we have b minus c plus d. So what it means is that this negative 2a is going to multiply the individual items, or let's say the terms. Now, instead of speaking normal English, I'm going to be speaking mathematically, because now we have idea of what these things mean. So this is one term, the negative 2a is one term. Inside we have three terms. So we have b, negative c plus d. Now we are saying that when we are multiplying or doing whatever equation that we are doing or expression that we are doing, calculating on, the signs in front are very important, especially when it has to do with negative. Because with the negative signs, they are visible and you can see them. With the positive signs like this, it is not always the case. For instance, in these brackets, we can see plus d, right? But a situation whereby, let's say this d, let's say you see this b is actually a positive term or letter, but the positive sign didn't occur here. So that's why I'm saying that for plus sign, it doesn't always show, right? So that is the idea. Now, for the negative sign, you see them. They are always visible. So we see them. So this is what it means. So now, let's do the multiplication and then let's see what it means. So we have, hold on. So now we have negative 2a. We're going to multiply this separately. Come and multiply this negative c. Oh yes, negative c. We're going to do that multiplication by that. And then this. So let's see what we get. So negative 2a times c times b. Sorry, the first term will be what? Negative 2ab. We have it here. Now let's do that the same thing by c. So negative 2a times negative c. We are going to get positive 2ac. You see, this is it. Let's do the same thing for d. Still, negative 2a times d. What do we see? We will get negative 2ad. This is it. So they're showing these arrows means that we are going to do the multiplication by the individual items in the bracket. That is what it means. Now you have to understand this, get familiar with this. Like you should have it at your fingertips, because going forward we are going to be engaging in a bit complex multiplications, where we call it factorization, multiplication of simplification of difference of two squares, and blah blah blah. We have to apply them. So we realize that going forward we are adding to the principles or the rules. We were introduced to the two laws of indices, the multiplication and then the division, right? And now we are adding on to that with these particular multiplications and signs and all that. So that is, so now note that negative 2a times b gives this, and then this gives that. So that is what it means. Now let's have real examples where we have to put things together, whatever we have learned. So now simplify the following expressions. We have 4 into x plus 1 plus 2 into bracket 2x plus 1. So what it means is that now I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's come down to the calculation where you understand whatever we mean to do or we have to do, right? I could do this, teach this without looking into the textbook, but I prefer the textbook to serve me as a guide and then to manage my time, right? So we are saying that when you have to simplify an expression with brackets in it, remove the bracket first and then collect or group like terms together. Do not try to do both in one step. So one thing I can also say about this expression is it's a very important thing to note, even though this seems like a bonus. For math, especially, break things into chunks, into smaller portions or parts for management, and it even makes the work easier, and then you know which steps to follow. Very sequential. So I prefer that when you are doing math, be very sequential. Math itself is what? Science, right? So be sequential, be systematic in whatever you are doing. It will help you. So now that we have this 4 into bracket x plus 1, then we have another expression 2 into bracket 2x plus 1. So 4 will multiply this, right? That's one thing that we are talking about. When you are done, come on the other side, come and do this one. So now let's do that. Let's see what happens. Now we have what? 4x plus 4. Let's go and check the other side of the equation. 4x plus 4. If we come here, we also see 2 times 2x. So we are multiplying these 2 by these 2 and then by this one. Because this whole thing is one term. So that will be 4x, right? And then 2 by this one will be 2. So we have 4x plus 4 plus 4x plus 2. So this is where we do the grouping. 4x is here. You bring this another 4x to this side. That will be what? 8x. Then we have this 4 alone and then this 2 alone. We are still doing the grouping. So we have 8x plus 6. The same thing is applicable here. Let's see, negative 3. That will be negative 6x here. And then this negative 3 by this negative 4. That will be what? Positive, negative give you a positive. So 3 by 4 will be 12. So negative is positive 12. You should know that rule also. So this is going to be applicable throughout the whole of these examples or questions that we have been given. So you have to know the rule. Negative by negative, multiplying negative by negative will give you positive. But a negative and a positive is negative. Write this thing down. Negative times negative, or a negative number times a negative number, give us a positive number. Then a negative number times a positive number will give us a negative number. That's another rule.